Hi everybody, and welcome to I Like Cruise Ships, the YouTube channel, and welcome to a new video here in Moscow, Russia. Today we're going to have a walk down Nikolskya Street here in Moscow. Now this is basically kind of a closed off walkway. It has lots of shops, small cafes, some buskers, and it's basically the main thoroughfare down to Red Square. So we're going to take a walk along and see what there is to see, and just have a look on a nice sunny Sunday afternoon here in Moscow. Okay, let's go. Now before we start walking down Nikolskya Street, I thought I'd just point out a few buildings right here. Now this one right in front of us is the Central Children's Store. Now there's a kind of some fencing in the way, which is a bit of a shame, but it's actually considered as one of the largest children's stores in the world in one building. It's basically over about 5 or 6 levels, and then the top level is actually like a food hall or food court up the top there, and then you can actually go up a little bit of a secret stairway which takes you out to an open balcony where you can actually get a nice view around the center of Moscow. And exactly when I'm filming is when all the cars going down the highway. This one last building I'll just point out here is it's kind of like the police headquarters, but it's, if you get fined by the police, it's kind of like the fine infringement office, and it's absolutely huge building, as everything is always in Moscow, as everything's just overbuilt. So let's go for a walk down Nikolskya Street and see what we can see, shall we? So again, this is Sunday afternoon. It's a nice beautiful sunny day. It's going to be a bit shaded as we walk down this street. One thing that's a big thing or becoming a big thing in Moscow is these rented scooters, and there is tons of them right here. You basically download an app to your phone, and then you attach your payment like a credit card or a debit card, and then you can take them for a ride and then sort of leave them wherever you like, and they basically GPS to where they are and they go back and collect them. But it's kind of neat, you can ride them around rather than having to own one if you didn't want to own one, and you wouldn't be able to bring one into the city if you don't live in the area. You can't bring it on a train or a bus. So this is Nikolskya Street. Now these things that are above me right here are not sort of switched on. They actually are on, but they're very dim. They're kind of like fairy lights, run the entire length of the street, and they're at night time or in the early evening. They're just beautiful. Now one thing I'll sort of point out here is, being Sunday, everybody's out and about and just walking around. All the cafes and bars are doing very well, all little ice cream vendors. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very neat street. It's not very long, it's only a couple of kilometers. You can probably walk from end to end in about 10 minutes. But it's just nice, it's kind of good for people watching, just checking out everybody who's checking everybody else out, I guess. They're always got some building under construction. Every street you go on, they basically put this huge hessian around them so that there's no kind of interruption to people walking along in the streets. So of course we are still in the middle of the COVID pandemic, I guess you'd like to call it. One thing that's interesting here is there is still big numbers in the country of Russia in terms of the cases. Walking around, obviously we're outdoors here, so you don't see virtually anybody wearing a mask. You might see an occasional person wearing one, but it's not required in most places. It's encouraged but not required. It's very strange. On the public transport it is expected that you wear it, particularly in the metro or the subway. Some nice cafe here. One DJ playing some music. And yeah, there's a guy over here who's wanting to take photos with everybody and charge them money. Yeah, it's nice, everybody's just out and about. Most people wouldn't drive into the center of Moscow where we are here. You take the metro in, have a walk around between sort of areas, and then find your metro station to head home. So it's kind of neat. Sort of walk off to the side here a little. So I think it's kind of just cool just to see everybody out and about. Nikolskya Street is very people-watching worthy kind of street as you walk around. There's a McDonald's here, and I wonder, it's kind of got the lights like it's like a Red Square, but it's not. There's some police guys right there just having a chat. One thing with a lot of the branding here, they're not allowed to put the kind of the brand of the business. They want the kind of original kind of Russian look in some of these older streets. So it's interesting the amount of people that you see that are taking photos and selfies when you walk along the street here. You know, a lot of people obviously aren't from this area, or they don't live in the center of Moscow, obviously. So this is kind of a day out for a lot of people. Yeah, it's a little bit too early for these lights to kind of kick in and see how kind of neat they are. I just saw this before. There was a guy over here. He's selling ice creams just here on the street. And I don't think he's a Russian guy, maybe from Uzbekistan or somewhere. And he does like little tricks with the ice creams. Can you see right here? Oops, I'm sure you're watching right in front of the camera right there, so. Yeah, you can get an ice cream from him. Setting up some nice planter boxes here. They're always doing something in the Moscow streets when you walk around. There's always something going on. Now I hope you like these kind of walk-arounds. I'm going to do quite a few more of these in Moscow, particularly just whole streets at a time. A lot of people want to see what's sort of interesting in Moscow and what's not. So it's a nice outdoor area for KFC. It's kind of neat because you can still come to a kind of a fancy street and still eat a very simple meal and not pay, you know, large money for something to eat if you wanted to. It's a busker right here, and he's playing. Oh, he's just finished exactly. Actually, that's perfect timing for the music anyway. But he's playing like looks like a recorder or a small flute. So yeah, let's keep walking along Nikolskya Street. Very nice spot. Yeah, these old buildings here. It probably doesn't show up as well on the camera as what I can see, but yeah, some more cafes here on the left-hand side. I guess these are kind of neat too. So if you're not from Russia, of course, just to see people kind of walking and how people are dressed for the day. One thing you will notice, I'm just going to see if we can catch this lady as we walk past here with the mask on. Everybody kind of wears them, but on their chin. There's another lady right here. So yeah, a lot of people wear them. They wear the masks, but they don't wear them properly. So it's just the fact that you are wearing one, you know. So there isn't many souvenir shops in Moscow. But there's one right here. It's got all of the Matryoshka dolls. But they're super expensive when you come to go buy things, especially the ones right in the Red Square area where we are now. So here's another busker. So one thing that's kind of interesting with buskers in Moscow is people don't typically carry money. So they just put their phone number on a piece of paper. And then you can send money from your bank account to their bank account, like as a tip. I just find it always interesting. It's interesting, this is just one street in Moscow, and we've seen thousands of people. Okay, it is Sunday afternoon, it is sort of the summertime, but just the sheer amount of people that are out and about here is a lot. There's a bar here with some people drinking beer and wine. So some of these actual buildings, they actually do have apartments in them, but my gosh, the cost of rent here would be just astronomical. We have these big traffic cones here, so nobody wants to get a bit silly and drive a car through. So as we get towards the end of Nikolskya Street here, you're going to see one of the spheres or one of the towers of the Kremlin, and then coming up on the left here is the GUM department store. Another cafe here. Food really isn't awfully expensive, you know, considering you are right in the middle of Moscow. It's quite reasonably priced. Okay, depending on your salary, I guess, or where you live in the world, but I think if I compare it to an Australian cafe at the centre of the city. There's another busker right there. I could do an entire video just on buskers, I think. It's a nice day. It's maybe about 22, 24 degrees today in Celsius. It's not too cold. I'm in short sleeve today, but I bought a sweater in case it gets cooler on the way home later. The good thing, of course, with summer in the northern hemisphere, you can be out till 8, 9 o'clock in the evening and it's still light. So, do you like these kind of walking videos going through the streets? I wonder if it's something that people are interested in seeing more of on the channel. It's a Lionel Messi fan right here. Oh, look at this lady, she's playing like a very like a strange violin. I don't know what it is. It's pretty neat though, whatever it is. It's like a wooden violin, is it? Or like one of those big lots of people stopping to look though. It's not your traditional kind of busker. So this is GUM department store here on the left. This is pretty much probably the most expensive shopping center in all of Moscow, bar none. I mean, the brands in here are pretty much every luxury brand that you could come up with. There is interesting, like a supermarket. You can see how huge this place is too. It's kind of at least a block wide by about 3 blocks down the road here. And then right ahead of us is Red Square, which you guys are going to see in another video coming up very soon. I'm going to film lots of different videos in and around Moscow while I'm here. So hopefully you like these kind of types of videos. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Post a comment. Just let us know what you think. I am trying to come up with a creative name for the for a channel, so I could basically branch out a little into a separate kind of a Russian channel. One thing that's really nice with GUM department store are these flowers that they tend to do so well along here. Well, the sun's just coming behind this building here. Let's see if we can get away from this sun. This is pretty much a one-take video as well, so I hope you're not doing any fancy editing, anything like that. We'll get to the very end of Nikolskya Street here, and you'll be able to see the little bits of Red Square and the red walls of the Kremlin. This is the entrance here to GUM. Well, there's many entrances. It's kind of neat, very fancy building. Now actually they've got a little bit of Red Square closed off today because they've got a kind of a concert that's going on here, I think tonight, I guess. So they've actually got the whole area now completely closed off. But it's okay. We weren't going to go walking down there today anyway, which it's always a thing in Moscow, especially in Red Square area. Whenever there's an event going on, they like to close off whole parts of the road. You can see here the red walls of the Kremlin running along the back over here, and then one of the towers, or the corners I guess, of the buildings. And then if you see behind the white sort of tents there would be Lenin's mausoleum, but we just can't quite see it today because they've closed it all off. But typically you'd walk through from Red Square to Nikolskya Street, and everybody's got to the end of the street now wondering what they're going to do because they can't get back around. It's always fun when you see closed off roads because everybody's in a bit like they're lost now and trapped. So yeah, it's an interesting and nice afternoon walk along Nikolskya Street. I know I'm repeating the word a few times, but I think it's interesting just to see everyone's got a look and dress and what everyone's up to. Alright, do you want to go in and see GUM in another video? Let me know in the comments. We can take a nice walk around in GUM department store. It's a very neat place. It's pretty much the most unshopped shopping center, I think, in terms of everybody going in there and you know, just walking around and not actually going in the stores. I really don't know who buys everything in there really, but I'm not sure. You see the amount of people coming down here to this end of the street, and then there's no more passage. So yeah, we might end the video just about here. Now if you do watch to the very end, I'm always going to add a little bit of a bonus bit of footage, so although I'm going to say I'm going to end the video, I'm going to add a little bit of bonus to the video. More people taking selfies. Okay everybody, so I'm going to end the video here as my little extra footage. It's actually in GUM department store. Now they famously have ice cream stalls right here where they have little ice cream cones pre-made, and they're only 100 rubles, which is about $1.30 US, I guess. It's not very expensive, and it's quite famous because it's kind of like a luxury shopping center, and then it's got very cheap ice cream. I just thought I'd end the video right here. Thanks for watching the walk around of Nikolskaya Street in Moscow, Russia. I hope you enjoyed it. There is actually one more little stand right here, and they're actually selling watermelon. If you can see them, they've actually put them in the water fountain. And then there's a lady back here selling watermelon. You can either buy it by weight, which is a bit crazy. I don't know, you come shopping and buy watermelon like that, or everybody's buying the watermelon by the cup. And it's only is it 100 rubles as well? Yeah, it's 100 rubles also for watermelon. You get a fork and a cup. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Thumbs up if you liked it. I'm going to finish my ice cream. I'm going to go for another walk around Moscow. So yeah, check out another video on the channel. And I hope you enjoyed today here in sunny Moscow. Bye everybody. Bye.